The Red Sea, life beneath the waves. The Red Sea, a narrow ribbon of blue carved between the scorching deserts of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. From above, it appears calm, almost lifeless, but beneath its surface lies a world unlike any other. It is one of the warmest and saltiest seas on the planet. Its waters, warmed by the tropical sun, sustain thousands of species of fish, corals, and invertebrates. Here, among shimmering waves and coral towers, lives are born and stories unfold, stories found nowhere else on Earth. The Red Sea is a living museum of evolution. Every reef, every tiny anemone, every glimmering fish tells a tale of survival, symbiosis, and the eternal struggle for space in a crowded, multi-layered underwater city. This sea connects continents, cultures, and civilizations, but it is the underwater realm that holds the secrets invisible to most. Here, in the silence of the deep, ancient laws prevail, laws that have shaped this world of color and form into one of the most unique and mysterious on the planet. Today, we will descend beneath the surface of the Red Sea to meet its inhabitants. We'll encounter fish that dance in the open water, corals that have been building their cities for centuries, and the plants that nourish this silent but teeming world. Welcome to a place where time is measured not by hours, but by tides and the breathing of the reef. A world that reminds us of the true beauty of our planet and just how fragile and precious life beneath the waves truly is. Among the colorful towers of the coral city, you can always meet these bright little creatures. These are Anthias, the golden beauties of the Red Sea. Their scientific name is Pseudanthias squamipinis, but divers simply call them the Cinderellas of the reef. For Anthias, every second of movement matters. They are always in motion, always dancing, swimming in schools like a single living being, catching the tiniest plankton drifting in invisible underwater currents. Female Anthias are colored bright orange-red, while males turn purple and grow long, almost dragon-like tail fins. Amazingly, every Anthia is born female. Only the strongest eventually change sex and become males to lead their group. Their swarms resemble sparks in the wind. They feed from morning to night, and at night they hide in the coral labyrinths, sheltering from predators. These little fish are not just decoration in the Red Sea. They are an important part of the reef ecosystem. Without them, the life that makes these waters some of the most remarkable on Earth would not exist. In the world of Anthias, there is no division between those who will remain female forever and those born male. Their lives are arranged differently. Each of these orange fish carries the hidden potential to become something greater. When a school loses its only male, a special time begins. The entire community freezes in invisible anticipation, for the stability of the group depends on this transformation. Then, one of the females begins to change. It's not just a change of role. Her entire hormonal system is rebuilt. The functioning of organs and even the structure of tissues change. The brain sends new signals, rewiring behavior, and the body obeys an ancient program embedded by evolution millions of years ago. This process cannot be observed. It is hidden from the eye. But after a few days, the one who was an ordinary female yesterday becomes the new leader of the school. She loses her former color and acquires the shine of a mature male with lilac shimmer and long, graceful fins. This transformation may seem magical, but in the underwater world, it is the result of harsh necessity. If Anthias could not change sex, their schools would collapse, losing the ability to reproduce. Nature rarely gives second chances, but Anthias are built to always have one inside themselves. Amid the schools of Anthias, it's easy to spot a larger figure with a bright red body speckled with blue spots. This is the red coral grouper Cephalophyllus miniata. He doesn't chase speed. This predator prefers the ambush tactic. The grouper chooses a dark hideout among the corals, suspends himself motionless in the water column, and waits patiently. When a curious fish swims too close, he makes a short but lightning-fast lunge. Powerful jaws snap shut in a fraction of a second, and the prey disappears into his mouth. A grouper can grow up to 1/2 meter long and weigh several kilograms. His body is densely covered in small blue dots, creating a shimmering illusion as if the coral reef continues its patterns on his skin. He leads a solitary life, occupying a specific territory and guarding it jealously. If another grouper approaches, the master of the reef flares his fins and opens his mouth, making it clear who's in charge. Despite his predatory nature, the red coral grouper plays an important role in reef life. He eats weak and sick fish, helping maintain the health of fish populations and preventing small fish from depleting the planktonic resources that the entire coral city depends on. A grouper can live up to 16 years. He is able to change the shade of his coloration depending on his mood and surroundings. But the bright scarlet hue with blue dots remains his trademark, a warning to all who cross his path. A strong ruler lives here. Here, in the crystal-clear waters of the Red Sea, a true underwater forest is born. But instead of trees, corals, these creatures may seem still, but each one is a living colony of thousands of tiny polyps. Branching acropora corals reach for the light, like underwater shrubs. They are among the first to meet the current that brings them the tiniest food particles. Their branches are shelter to hundreds of species of fish and invertebrates, and they grow faster than most other corals, creating the framework of the reef. Nearby are scaly corals, their colonies resembling dense flowering bushes. Among the bumps of their polyps, tiny shrimp and fish can hide, using these corals as a well-camouflaged home. A little farther, massive brain corals can be seen. Their surface, resembling the folds of a brain, is strong and reliable. They grow slowly, just a centimeter per year, but create the firm foundations of the reef, capable of withstanding waves and storms for decades. And here are the soft corals, like golden underwater flowers. Their tissues lack a hard calcareous skeleton, so they sway in the water like blooming grasses in the wind. They feed not only on sunlight, but also capture tiny organic particles carried by the current. All these corals live thanks to a symbiosis with microscopic algae, zooxanthellae. It is they who give corals their color and their life, turning sunlight into energy. If the water gets too warm, corals lose their tiny partners, fade and die. That's why it is so important for this sea to remain clean and cool. Every reef is a city where thousands of species live together. Here, in this vibrant world, the future of the entire ocean is born. She is almost invisible. Her transparent body dissolves into the water, and only the faint stripes on her legs and blue markings reveal her presence. This is a shrimp from the genus Periclymenes, a true master of camouflage. Her life unfolds in close partnership with corals and anemones. There, she finds protection, and in return, she performs an important task, cleaning her host from leftover food and parasites. Such shrimps are the invisible janitors of the reef. Their long white antennae send a signal to the fish. Cleaning station open! Fish swim over, open their gills and mouths, and the shrimp carefully picks off dirt and dead skin. The world of the Red Sea depends on such connections. There is no place for loners here. Everyone depends on someone else, and even the tiniest shrimp plays a role without which no one would survive. This fish looks as though it was painted by an artist inspired by a desert sunset. A yellow body with black diagonal stripes and a bright red outline turns it into a living ornament of the reef. This is the striped butterfly fish Chaetodon fasciatus. It swims in pairs or small groups, staying close to the corals. Its main food is coral polyps. For a human, it may seem strange how such a small fish can live by feeding on tiny soft tentacles. But for it, this is a source of energy growing all around. The striped butterfly fish is a symbol of the Red Sea. Without it, the reefs wouldn't feel as alive. Its vivid colors remind us, here, beneath the waves, reigns a fashion and beauty beyond time. These fish are known for their loyalty. Most often, they are seen in pairs, male and female, staying together for years, guarding their territory. In a world where survival is a daily struggle, such devotion is a rarity. The striped butterfly fish is cautious. It never ventures far into open water, preferring the coral mazes where it can vanish from danger in an instant. But even there, it remains visible, because its bright coloring is a warning. It's fast, agile, and confident. Sometimes, you can spot a butterfly fish pair slowly circling above the same patch of reef. This is how they show other fish. This is our home. By defending their feeding grounds, they help maintain the reef's balance, preventing other species from wiping out the coral colonies. Among the coral reefs, on the border between the sandy bottom and rocky towers, lives a special creature. Its body resembles a forest of soft, translucent tentacles that gently sway with the rhythm of the underwater currents. This is a sea anemone, a polyp often mistaken for a plant. In reality, it's a predator, a relative of jellyfish and corals, armed with thousands of stinging cells. Any fish that touches its tentacles will be instantly paralyzed by venom and become prey. But there are those who do not fear its poison. Darting between the tentacles are two tiny clownfish. Their orange-yellow bodies are decorated with white stripes outlined in black. These are amphiprion clownfish of the Red Sea. Their skin is coated with a special mucus that protects them from the anemone's stinging cells. For the anemone, these fish are not enemies. The clownfish clean away leftovers from its body and bring bits of food, and in return, they receive protection from predators. No large fish dares to approach the venomous tentacles of an anemone, which means the clownfish can sleep in peace. In nature, their relationship is called mutualism. But if you look closer, it's a true story of how different creatures find meaning in each other's existence. Yet the life of clownfish is more complex than it appears at first glance. Their world follows a strict hierarchy. At the center is always the largest and strongest fish, the female. She rules over the anemone and all its inhabitants. Next to her lives the only mature male, her partner and protector. He never grows larger than her because in this world, size is everything. The rest of the clownfish are young, immature males waiting for their chance. They live lower on the social ladder, not challenging the status quo. If the female dies, a silent and swift transformation takes place. The dominant male stops being male. His hormones change, internal organs gradually reorganize, and within a few days, he becomes a fully functional female. This process may seem incredible, but for clownfish, it's a matter of survival. The new female chooses a partner from the younger males in the colony, and thus the cycle continues. Amazingly, in the world of clownfish, no females are born. Every female is a former male who managed to grow and endure the trials of hierarchy. This system gives clownfish what matters most: stability. The colony never lacks a female, which means life goes on even after loss. In the world of coral reefs, where predators can strike at any moment, only those who can change quickly survive and pass on life. And it's this ability to change, to be a protector today and a mother tomorrow, that makes the clownfish one of the most remarkable creatures of the Red Sea. When the new female has taken her role, the time for reproduction arrives. In the warm waters of the Red Sea, clownfish can spawn at any time of year. The female lays hundreds, sometimes thousands, of eggs on a protected surface near the anemone, usually on a rock or a crevice in the reef. She carefully glues them in neat rows, creating a carpet of future life. After that, the main responsibility falls to the male. He becomes the father and guardian. Day after day, he fans the eggs with his fins, creating a current that brings oxygen and removes fine debris. He gently cleans each egg with his mouth, removing the dead ones to prevent infection from spreading. After several days, depending on the water temperature, tiny larvae hatch and rise into the water column. There, they begin a new and dangerous life, drifting with the plankton before returning to the reef to find their first anemone. But the life of clownfish is impossible without their home, the anemone. At first glance, the anemone looks like a plant. Its body consists of a soft stalk and hundreds of tentacles, each covered in stinging cells. These cells act like tiny harpoons. Upon contact, they fire, injecting venom that paralyzes prey. Inside the anemone live symbiotic algae zooax antheli. Thanks to them, the tentacles receive part of their energy from sunlight. The clownfish, in turn, help the anemone by bringing food scraps and scaring away some predators. This is a partnership where nothing is random. Each one has a role to play. The anemone provides protection, the clownfish offer cleanliness, and the zooxanthellae provide energy. Together, they create a world where life is so intertwined that it's impossible to tell where one being ends and another begins. On the sheer wall of the reef, purple soft corals Dendronephthya sway gently. Their branches resemble the crowns of underwater trees, but in fact, they are entire colonies of thousands of polyps united into a single living organism. They have no hard calcareous skeleton, so they float like flowers in the water. But these flowers feed differently. They filter tiny plankton, catching it from the currents like nets catch the wind. Around the corals, Anthias swarm. Their bright orange bodies flicker in the water column, creating the impression that the reef is wrapped in a cloud of fire. They move so quickly and in such harmony that they seem like a single being. Anthias are the bees of the Red Sea. Their life fully depends on the reef, just as bees depend on their hive. They feed in the water column, collecting microscopic plankton particles, then return to the corals, which provide shelter and protection from predators. The purple Dendronephthya and the fiery Anthias, soft corals that feed on light and currents, and small fish that feed on the life of the sea. Together, they create this world of color and motion, an underwater garden where every life form becomes part of the sea's shared breath. The Moray eel. Its body is long and muscular, covered in thick mucus that protects the skin from parasites and reduces friction against the corals. It is almost completely devoid of scales. Its skin is thick and flexible, allowing it to squeeze into even the narrowest crevices of the reef. The Moray is an ambush predator. It waits for prey, poking only its head out from its shelter. When a suitable fish gets close enough, the Moray makes a lightning-fast strike and grabs it with its teeth. Its teeth are long, thin, and curve backward like harpoons, a shape that gives the prey no chance of escape. Morays have another remarkable feature. Hidden in their throat are pharyngeal jaws, a second set of jaws, similar to those found in certain snakes and deep-sea eels. When prey is already in the mouth, these jaws move forward, grasp the catch, and pull it deeper into the esophagus. It is thanks to them that morays can swallow large and agile prey. In this shot, you can see something moving inside the moray's belly. The swallowed fish is still alive, but it will never escape. Moments later, the moray begins to make retching movements. A cloud of blood and tissue fragments exits its mouth, possibly remains of a previous meal that it expels to make room. Morays are often nocturnal, but during the day, they can be found in shelters like these. They rarely leave their territory and return to the same hiding spots for years. In this underwater world, the Moray plays a vital role as a predator, controlling the population of small fish and maintaining balance in the coral reef ecosystem. Two bright butterfly fish slowly glide along the coral wall. Their golden bodies shine in the sunlight, and thin red lines seem woven into their skin, creating a pattern that never repeats. These are masked butterfly fish, Chaetodon semilarvatus. They are found only in the Red Sea and nearby waters. These fish always swim in pairs. Their bond lasts for years. They feed together, rest together, and defend their territory side by side. The masked butterfly fish feeds on coral polyps. Its mouth is small and narrow like tweezers, designed to delicately pluck soft tentacles without fully damaging the coral. It carefully chooses what to eat, helping to keep the reef alive and healthy. These fish rarely swim far from each other. If one changes direction, the other immediately follows. They move like two golden petals drifting along an invisible trail of the current. And when you watch them, it feels as if the entire coral wall becomes a backdrop for their eternal dance. A dance with no haste, no fear, only the complete harmony of two lives flowing as one. Masked butterfly fish not only swim together for life, they also reproduce together. Their breeding is closely tied to their loyalty. When spawning time arrives, these fish rise above the reef into more open waters. There, in the middle of the sea, the pair begins a special courtship dance. They spiral around each other, gradually ascending higher and higher, like golden ribbons reaching for the surface. At the final moment, at the peak of the dance, the female releases her eggs, and the male immediately fertilizes them. Thousands of tiny eggs dissolve into the water, carried by the current far from the reef. Neither parent will care for the offspring, as is the case for many marine fish. The larvae will hatch in open water, where they'll drift in the plankton, feeding and growing day by day. Only a few will return to the reef to become part of this vibrant underwater world. But those who survive will one day find a mate. And then, just like their parents, they will glide together among the corals, two golden silhouettes, united as one in the boundless sea. Why are some corals pale yellow, while others glow with violet, blue, or bright green? The secret is that a coral is not just an animal, it is a partnership of two lives. Inside its tissues live microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. These tiny symbionts not only provide the coral with food by turning sunlight into energy, but they also give it part of its color, usually golden or brownish tones. But corals themselves also produce pigments, proteins, that reflect and refract light. These pigments serve many purposes. Some protect against ultraviolet radiation, like a natural coral sunscreen. Others help regulate the amount of light the zooxanthellae receive, making sure they produce energy without overheating. Some pigments even bounce excess light back into the algae, boosting their photosynthesis. That's why coral reefs can shimmer with green, blue, red, purple, or even neon turquoise hues. This underwater world is like a living garden, where every color has its role and together they form the breathtaking palette that draws divers back to the reef, again and again. The water of the Red Sea is unique. It's among the saltiest in the world. While the global ocean average is around 35 parts per thousand, here the salinity can reach 40, and in some places even 42. That means over 40 grams of dissolved salts per liter of water. This high concentration is due to geography. The Red Sea is almost entirely surrounded by desert. There's very little rainfall and almost no rivers to bring in fresh water. The intense heat evaporates the sea faster than it can be replenished. Water rises into the sky, but the salts remain behind. The Red Sea is also rich in calcium and carbonates, essential ingredients for corals to build their skeletons. Its waters contain magnesium, sodium, potassium, and chloride, the compounds that give seawater its signature taste. And it's rich in trace elements like strontium and boron, which play a role in coral reef growth. All this, combined with temperatures that rarely dip below 20 degrees Celsius and often rise to 30 degrees Celsius in summer, creates ideal conditions for thousands of species of corals, fish, and invertebrates. The Red Sea is like a vast natural aquarium, where every drop is saturated with life. Above the coral branches floats a cloud of tiny fish. Their bodies shimmer with shades of blue, turquoise, and soft green, as if they've absorbed all the colors of tropical water. These are blue-green chromis, Chromis viridis. Each fish is only a few centimeters long, but together they create a scene that draws thousands of divers to the reef. Chromis swim in large schools, sometimes hundreds strong. A school isn't just for movement, it's protection. When all fish move in unison, it's hard for predators to single out a target. They spend most of their lives hovering in open water above the reef, feeding on plankton. Their large eyes help them detect the tiniest movements. Each fish darts forward, snatches a particle, and instantly returns to the rhythm of the school. But the moment danger appears, a grouper or a Moray eel, the school vanishes instantly. They dive between coral branches where predators find it hard to follow. Chromis spawn right here on the reef. Males choose a spot on coral branches, clean it with their mouths, and then invite females. Once the eggs are laid, the male guards them, fanning them with his fins to provide oxygen and keep the nest clean. These little fish live only a few years, but in that time, they leave behind thousands of offspring who will grow up to join the swirling dance above the coral gardens. The blue-green chromis is reef life in its lightest, most delicate form, a school that reminds us of the strength found in unity. Above the coral branches, the blue-green chromis continue their endless ballet, but drop lower, toward the sandy seafloor, and a different sight emerges. An entire army of striped fish glides into view. Their silver bodies are marked with 5 bold black stripes like the war paint of ancient warriors. Each stripe emphasizes their speed and strength. These are sergeant major fish Abudeftuf saxatilis. Their name comes from the distinctive pattern, reminiscent of military insignia. They swim in large synchronized groups, moving like a single living wave. Sergeant majors feed on plankton, but won't hesitate to nibble on algae or organic matter stirred up by currents. Get closer, and their beauty reveals itself. Their backs shimmer with blue, while their bellies glow pale yellow beneath the stripes. The school glides slowly over the sand, scanning every patch for food. In their movement, there is harmony, as if the reef were composing its own music, with each fish a note in the melody of life. Sergeant majors are never alone. Their strength lies in numbers. A tightly packed school offers protection. Predators struggle to lock onto a single fish. Each one knows its place, forming a living shield that bends, ripples, and reforms as needed. But these fish are not just wanderers of the reef. During breeding season, they become builders and fierce guardians. Males choose a small patch on rock or sand and begin clearing it, scraping away algae and debris with their mouths to prepare a nesting site. Once the area is clean, the male aggressively chases away rivals, showing off his bold stripes. A female arrives and lays thousands of tiny transparent eggs, sticking them to the rock. After that, the male takes over fanning the eggs with his fins to keep oxygen flowing. Any intruder that gets too close is met with an aggressive charge. Even divers have witnessed these tiny warriors launching themselves at much larger fish and even at cameras to protect their future. A few days later, the larvae hatch and are swept away by the current. Only a few will return to the reef to join the next generation of this striped army. Sergeant Major fish are more than just decoration. They are patrol, pulse and presence, a voice of the reef that never falls silent in the vastness of the sea. In the shallow waters where warm waves ripple over the sandy seabed, a small boxfish swims slowly. Its body appears to be made of hexagonal tiles, like an ancient mosaic. Every section of its skin is covered in hard, bony plates, forming a sturdy armor. That's why it's called a boxfish. Its body resembles a little jewelry box drifting among the grains of sand. This is the boxfish, or yellow boxfish, Ostracon cubicus in its juvenile stage. It lacks the smooth curves typical of other fish. Its movements are angular, yet they have a peculiar grace. It seems to glide, steering with gentle sweeps of its small pectoral fins and subtle undulations of its dorsal and anal fins. Boxfish feed on small crustaceans, mollusks, and even algae. They swim close to the bottom, peering into the sand and sometimes blowing it away with jets of water to uncover hidden prey. This tiny fish also has a secret weapon. When severely stressed, boxfish release a toxin into the water, ostracotoxin, which is deadly to nearby fish. That's why, in the wild, these creatures are treated with caution. Messing with a boxfish is a risky idea, and so it disappears again among the sand grains, leaving behind only a faint shadow on the seabed. A tiny underwater box, crafted by nature with meticulous care. In the shaded overhangs of the reef, where sunlight no longer reaches the bottom, life teems with mystery. Soldierfish, Myripristis mergen, hover in tight schools, swaying slightly with the rhythm of the current. Their large eyes are adapted to see where twilight reigns. Each evening, as the sun nears the horizon, these fish leave their shelters. They glide through coral labyrinths in search of small crustaceans and plankton. Their bodies are a bright red, which turns nearly black at depth, helping them vanish from predators' sight. Nearby flicker the striped squirrelfish, Sargocentron diadema. Their elongated bodies are marked with thin white lines, and a spiny dorsal fin stands ready, raised in defense if danger arises. These fish are also nocturnal. During the day, they hide in reef crevices, but at dusk, they emerge to hunt. Their huge, shining eyes catch the slightest movement, even in total darkness. Striped squirrelfish have a unique trait. If approached too closely, they can emit a faint creaking sound by rubbing their fins against their gill covers. It's their warning to unwelcome visitors. Both soldierfish and squirrelfish are not only hunters, but also important reef cleaners. They feed on carrion and weakened animals, helping maintain the ecological balance of the reef. And as the reef falls asleep, their life is just beginning. Here we see a pair of trumpetfish, Fistularia commersonii. These elongated fish resemble green arrows, gliding slowly among the corals. Their bodies are thin and long, and their snouts are shaped like tubes, the reason for their name. Bluish stripes run along their backs, shimmering in the light, while their greenish tint helps them blend with the water and shadows of the reef. Trumpetfish usually stay close to each other, giving the impression of a coordinated duo. Sometimes they rise toward the surface to hunt small fish, but most of the time they slowly glide over the reef, scanning the water with their large eyes. Interestingly, this species is known not just for its unusual shape, but also for its ability to migrate. Fistularia commersonii is one of the symbols of the so-called Lesepsian migration, the mass movement of species from the Red Sea into the Mediterranean via the Suez Canal. When the canal was built in the 19th century, it opened a passage for many tropical species. Trumpetfish, like lionfish, quickly adapted to new territories and are now found off the coasts of Israel, Lebanon, Turkey, and even Greece. These migrations have reshaped the entire Mediterranean ecosystem, as new predators now compete with native species for food and space. Thus, these little green hunters have become part of a much larger story, one of relocation that humans inadvertently began by connecting two ancient seas. And so, among the reef's winding corridors, we leave behind this curious pair of trumpetfish. They continue their unhurried glide above the corals like green shadows dissolving in the gentle light of the sea. Today we've seen the shimmer of purple soft corals, Anthias swarming like bees above a blooming garden, butterfly fish dancing in pairs, a Moray eel lurking with its catch, and clownfish tending to their eggs beneath the stinging tentacles of anemones. But this is just the beginning of the story. More discoveries lie ahead. We'll dive deeper into the twilight zone where ancient creatures dwell. There, in the cold blue depths, lives another world one most people will never see. See you in the next episode, where the Red Sea will reveal more of its secrets.